The professor looks to teach the competition a lesson, and a talented rookie from south of the border has his sights on the games. We preview the men's North America West semifinal next. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Talking Elite Fitness Studios. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez as we take a look at the North America West men's semifinal. And on the women's side, we talked about this. There's a lot of uncertainty in that division, but that is not the case with the men.
You know, there's 9 spots up for grabs, fewer spots. There's 9 qualifying athletes from 2022 in this field. 6 of those athletes with 3 or more appearances, and a few with are pushing some double digits there. That includes Cole Sager going for 10 straight. So any rookie that's going to crack this wall of experience is really going to have to earn it.
The North America West semifinal takes place weekend number 2. It's at the Pasadena Convention Center in Pasadena, California. Starts May 25th. Will run 4 days. 10 spots for the women, 9 spots for the men, and then 10 for the team. Justin Medeiros comes in as the 2-time defending fittest man on earth, probably the favorite to win the North American West semifinal and stand on top of the podium in Pasadena. But if there's anybody in the field who can keep him from doing that, who is it?
Well, it's going to take a village, Sean, but there's a few athletes that immediately come to mind. You know, first and foremost, the guy who almost beat him at Rogue Invitational, and it's Pat Vellner. Pat's accolades in the sport speak for themselves, but more importantly, Pat is unafraid to try and take some chances and apply pressure, and that's what it's going to take. Sometimes it pays off. Event 9, the Goblet at Rogue, you know, he wins that event going away, picks up 6 spots worth of points on Justin. Sometimes it doesn't. The very next event, event 10, and the Heavy Grace, he just came a few reps shy and blew up at the end there. But he has a high competition IQ, tremendous gymnastics skill, which will benefit if we see some of the further gymnastics progressions that Boz has shown so far in his programming. And for someone like Pat, being unafraid to challenge the champ, maybe take some chances. You're going to have to risk it to get the biscuit, and that's something Pat does extremely well. And then Sam Quant, a guy that really, this is just an obligatory appreciation post. Finishing 4th at the games, I don't think he gets a ton of credit for that and how he's done over the last few seasons. He's like an American BKG. He's really good at weird, awkward stuff outside of the box type loading with odd objects. He's good at barbell cycling, events like the Alpaca, Capital, the Turtle, DT with a spin last year at Rogue. He's got solid endurance with the machines, and he's just someone that seems to hang underneath the radar. Maybe can clip Justin in a few events here, at least open up the door for some other athletes as well as himself.
Well, one guy who might help either Quant or Vellner take down Justin Medeiros is Brent Fikowski. He is one of the talented veterans in the field here. He's coming off a disappointing year for him at the CrossFit Games. He took 16th in 2022 and looking for his 8th trip to the games here in 2023.
I've always got a pretty healthy dose of fear and paranoia that this will be the year that you know, I don't qualify for the games, right? I think as soon as you lose that, someone's going to take it from you, right? And there's just the field this year and in all the semis, but you know, I'm looking at North America West for me. You know, there's 9 spots, and there's a lot of good men, right? There's at least 12 men that have, I think, been to the games, or 11. So it's like there's 11 guys that probably expect that they can make the games if things go well. So 2 of those will be disappointed. And then there's another 5 to 10 guys who think this is the year they crack through for the first time, right? So yeah, I'm definitely not in a place where I ever feel like, oh, you know, the qualifying for the games is a foregone conclusion. I never feel that way. But, you know, I do feel like training is going really well.
So 16th place at the CrossFit Games last year for Brent Fikowski. And this is a guy we've seen inside the top 5 on the podium. Which version of Fikowski do you think we're going to see this year?
You know, something in my gut just tells me we're going to get a vintage Brent Fikowski, mainly because of the time and the place. And that time and place is a live qualifying event for the CrossFit Games. The last 4 live qualifying events, Brent has won all 4 of them. And you look at how he performed on the individual event, 75% of the events in those 4 events were inside the top 5, and he won at least 1 event across all 4 of those competitions. And he really starts to do well once the competition field gets deeper in those events. You go back to Dubai for the 2020 season, 12 plus games athletes in the field. He manages to beat all of them, including Pat Vellner. You go back to the West Regional, even back in 2018 when we started to combine regionals even further. Brent wins that going away. So I think we'll see a return to top form from Brent.
I'm going to ask you the same question about Chandler Smith, because the last time we saw him in live competition, he did great at Rogue, finished 2nd there, but coming off that wrist injury. So which version of Chandler Smith are we going to see in Pasadena?
Well, I don't think we need to see the best version of Chandler just to get back to the games. And I think really that's what should be the focus, because he was dealing with a broken wrist during quarterfinals, but it didn't stop him from putting together a pretty strong finish overall. So still top 25 worldwide, still just near the top heat in the West, finishing 11th overall. If the wrist is anywhere near 100%, just look at his body of work, whether it was Rogue last year hitting the podium, winning the Can West Games. He just needs to get to Madison. He's got a tremendous skill set and a little bit of resilience. You remember, losing his finger, dealing with that asthma attack at Granite Games, and still gritting through it all. I think we're going to see a strong version of Chandler, and we don't need the best one for him to get back to the games.
Earlier, you mentioned all the veterans who are here, all games veterans who are trying to get back to Madison. If there is a rookie who might be able to break through, who is it going to be?
Well, I have to mention Bill Leahy. He's kind of the rookie dark horse du jour, and I think he's going to qualify. I really do. But there's another athlete that was just behind him at semifinals on the leaderboard last year that I think has a great shot, and it's Luis Oscar Mora. He was 12th at the MAC, and that was his first live CrossFit competition since the Latin America Regional in 2018. A former teenage competitor, he had some stellar performances in a few individual events, the lifting complex, the legless rope climb event. He won the lifting complex. He has some incredible explosiveness. Those are the two standardized program WODs. You talk to the people out of the Proven Camp where he's bought in fully there with them. They said he's still going to hit home runs, and he is finally actually focused on working on his weaknesses. And talking to Shane and Nick from Proven, they said if a few of the events line up well for him, they think he's going to go to the games. But either way, it's only a matter of time before he breaks through as an individual.
9 spots are up for grabs in Pasadena, California, May 25th through the 28th. Should be a lot of fun to watch. If you haven't already, you can check out our West Women's preview, and then we also have previews for both the Men's East and Women's East semifinals in North America, and we will continue to preview the semifinals as we get closer to go time. If you haven't already, you can follow us on Instagram or support us on Patreon if you see fit, and we will keep you updated on everything going on in the CrossFit and fitness space. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. For Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. We'll talk to you next time.